Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Adidas X16 Plus Purechaos in the latest Turbocharge pack colorway. Here's a look at the latest color. Very, very bright, has this cool kind of half and half split design. And of course, we'll take a closer look at the colorway in today's video. We'll also talk a little bit about tech specs, performance features, as well as how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, there'll be a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail price. So if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. Now, being a top-end model from Adidas, they include a couple extras inside the box along with the shoes. The first thing you get is a string bag with the Adidas and X branding printed on the front, and they also include an extra set of comfort insoles to go along with the lightweight ones already inside of the shoes. So, Turbocharge pack, exactly what's going on here. You have two different shades of green that are a fair bit different from each other, but they actually contrast quite nicely together on the same upper. So the front is basically this kind of teal color, and then eventually it fades into basically more of a lime green, neon yellow. I would say it's maybe a little bit more green than it is yellow, but that's really a matter of interpretation. And you can see because of the different materials, you do have what looks to be a couple different shades of that color, but it's technically all supposed to be the same. That's just gonna happen when you have different materials. Now you can see here through the middle where it actually fades, it's in the form of kind of like a spray paint splatter type effect, but very, very dense, which is actually pretty cool. And you can see they have it within the actual texturing of the upper itself. So it kind of changes and just has a really interesting look in person, but the fade is almost right down the middle of the shoe, which again, I think is a pretty cool effect, especially in person up close. You're gonna find that the Adidas branding on the lateral side of the shoe is black in color, where in the neon yellow part at the back, on the medial side, you're gonna find the X, the non-stop grip, and the Tech Fit branding all in that teal color like you'll find at the front. The laces on the shoes are light green as well, and you can see the actual Tech Fit collar area features a combination of the two shades of green within the actual knitted material. Cool little details like the eglets on the laces are that metallic copper color like you're going to find more prominently on other Turbocharge pack boots, notably the Copas and the Messis. You're going to find that same metallic copper on the insole, as well as the little dots for the actual liner, which is kind of a cool little extra detail. And then the sole plate, as you guys can see, heel counter is light green, and then it fades to that darker green towards the front, and it does have a wearable aspect. The darker green is just the color of the sole plate. The lighter green is actually the color that will wear away as you wear them in, but it still has that kind of paint splatter transition effect through the midfoot, which is really cool. And then the actual stud tips themselves, translucent black. All in all though, pretty good looking colorway, very, very bright. Let me know what you guys think of the look of these down below in the comment section. Now in regards to performance, I would say that of all the $300 models on offer from Adidas right now, this is my personal favorite. I just like the way that it fits. I like the way that it feels. If you're comparing to the Pure Agility, the Messi model, I think that this is pretty much the same design, but one that works better. And I just prefer the upper on this shoe. And in comparison to the Pure Control, the laceless boot, I just think this has a much better fit. It's much more stable. It's much more responsive and offers a better touch overall. I just think it's the best, like I said, $300 option on offer from the Adidas brand. So essentially what you're getting here is what's listed as a Tech Fit upper, not the clearest thing in the world, but basically from this seam forward, you have a standard thin synthetic material. It's soft, it's flexible, it has a barefoot-esque touch, but there is some padding to it on the underside. And then you have your Pure Cut lace cover system, which basically covers up the Tech Fit piece that you see right here sticking out the front, as well as the laces. So underneath this, you're gonna find this Tech Fit system, which essentially is an internal sleeve wrapping the midfoot that cuts off at this seam right here on the inside. It's slightly elasticated, so when you put it on, it gives you that sock-like wrap. And then you have basically nylon straps, 3 of them on either side to hold the laces in place. They go right to the base of the sole. So when you pull the laces tight, it really does a good job of securing your midfoot and making sure everything is relatively snug inside the shoe, and it prevents it from moving around. It gives you a fairly good responsive sensation. Texturing on the surface, this has that kind of tearing effect, which is fairly minor in terms of the actual texture that it offers. You don't really notice it on the ball. It also does feature non-stop grip dots, acting as your wet control element, which I don't feel make much of an impact either. The shoe, I would argue, is a low cut model, even though these side pieces extend a little bit higher, even though it's just an elasticated material. There's really no structure to it, so it's not going to really feel like a mid-cut shoe. The look obviously is something else. You have the S-curve heel, which is taken from the very popular Ultra Boost running shoe. Again, I don't really notice it all that much when you're actually wearing the shoes, but it is a very distinctive visual feature. The heel liner is a nice synthetic suede material with the grip dots there on the back to help hold your foot in place very, very securely. It grips socks really nicely. Insole fully removable, and then of course you do have your sprint frame sole plate and stud pattern with the built-in heel counter. Standard TPU plastic, good flexibility to it. I would say in comparison to the Messi line or the Ace line, this seems to be the most flexible of the sprint frames, even though they're all kind of variations of the same thing. And then your FGAG stud pattern, which again, same layout for the most part across the entire Adidas brand. Slightly different stud tips as far as the shapes of the studs go, but the performance is quite good. It's more of a firm natural grass stud pattern than it is a true AG stud pattern, but it does get the job done on both plane surfaces. In regards to weight, in a size 9 US, these guys weigh in at 7.2 ounces, so they're relatively lightweight as well. And again, it's kind of a unique package in terms of what it has on offer. I really wouldn't compare this to anything currently available from a brand like Nike, which is obviously Adidas's main competitor and a brand that a lot of people want to compare Adidas products to. But again, very good shoe as kind of a standalone, unique product. And my personal favorite synthetic boot currently on offer from the Adidas brand. That's enough about the shoes though. Let's take a look at how they fit and feel on feet. So again, kind of a big misconception with this shoe is the fact that it isn't laceless. Pretty much all the pictures you'll find on most retailers, even from Adidas themselves, don't show the laces because they kind of are hidden under the lace cover. So getting them on, not that big of a deal. Obviously it doesn't have an independent tongue. So getting them on, you basically just hold your foot, get halfway through the opening, and then kind of like what you would do with the mid-cut models from Nike, I like to put my thumb at the front and then use my back thumb, or my other thumb, sorry, as a kind of shoehorn for my heel, and then just slide it into the back of the shoe without stepping on the back heel counter too much. So that's pretty much it. Once they're on, the shoe is going to have a nice snug fit. And then from here, because the lace cover does fit pretty tight across the top of the foot, you can't really tighten the laces section by section, but as long as you leave them sticking out, you can pull them and it pulls on the laces, tightens the shoe pretty effectively. So from there, all you have to do, tie them up, which doesn't take too long. And from here, it's kind of up to you what you want to do. You can leave them out like this. I personally just kind of tuck them into the side. But again, that's something that once you have the shoes, you can kind of play around with that and see what feels right. You're going to have a little bit of a lump wherever the laces are underneath, but that's part of the foot that's really not going to be making contact with the ball all that much, so it's not too big of a deal. So just going to put the other one on really quickly as well. You'll find that putting them on, the only part that is a little bit difficult is actually that grip liner on the back. It does a really good job of sticking to your socks, and it seems to be pretty durable as well. It doesn't really wear away like you might think it would, like you would expect it to anyways. But it does a really good job locking your heel in place. And again, in terms of lockdown, really, really effective shoe, even though it does have a fairly short lacing system that basically just spans from here to here. So tie this one up really quickly. Tuck the laces in. And again, that's kind of the beauty of the lace cover to a certain extent. It gives you a cleaner look overall. It's not necessarily going to improve performance, but it does give you a little bit of consistency in terms of the texture on the surface of the upper. So certain parts of the foot aren't going to feel more grippy than others. Is it less bulk? No, it's technically extra material that you wouldn't otherwise have, but the implementation is actually pretty effective on this shoe, in my opinion. In regards to out-of-the-box comfort, the shoes are pretty comfortable. There's not a whole lot to complain about here. They have good flexibility to them, especially in the toe box forefoot area where it's just this straight up synthetic material, really soft against your foot. And again, fairly comfortable shoes for the most part, not too much to get used to. As far as the width is concerned, it does have a snug fit overall, but I wouldn't say that they're overly tight. Definitely would not compare them to Mercurial Vapors or Superflies in regards to the overall shape and just feel on feet. These are significantly wider than a Mercurial would be, but again, still a fairly snug fitting shoe. It does have a tighter overall fit, and I think it will be suitable for most people. The tightest fitting area on this boot is going to be the midfoot area, but again, I wouldn't necessarily say that they are narrow by any means. In regards to sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the X16 Plus Purechaos in the new Turbocharge pack colorway. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comment section and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.